What is going on, everyone? James here. Today we are going to be adding a heater to this new aquarium that I'm working on at the moment. There's not really much to it, a few plants in there that I've just bought today, but importantly I need a heater for it, and I have a brand new heater that was sent to me by Hygger, and they've asked me to take a look at it. But I think it's a perfect opportunity to add it to this aquarium and see how well it does for the next few weeks and give you my thoughts on how it's been performing. So without further ado, let's get it unboxed and into the tank. All right, everyone, so here it is. This is the box. It's a relatively sort of sturdy one, not massively thick cardboard, but yeah, if we open it up, well, first of all, you can see you've got a little description of your product features and yeah, what the heater looks like, and inside UK plug, always a good thing. And there you go, there's the heater. What else have we got? Manual, so quick user guide, I think it is. It's German. Yeah, it's all in German there. I'm assuming English is somewhere in here, but no, I'm sure we'll figure it out anyway. There you go, English. Cool. So, here's the heater. Looks like it's got a digital display right here. Don't know if you can sort of see that. And you set the temperature, I would imagine, on this little button here. Not much to it, to be honest. Let's feel the product. Fairly heavy. The cable's quite heavy as well, but yeah, it's got 2 suction points. It's quite a beast of a unit, I guess. But it looks decent. I was actually thinking it would be a bit smaller than this, so pleasantly impressed. But yeah, looks nice. So yeah, I think all in all happy. Let's get it in the tank and see how it does. So it's been about 4 weeks now since I did the unboxing and setup of that heater, and I just wanted to give you my thoughts as to how it's been in the time that I've had it, really. I think first things first, let's get in with the price. So this product was sent to me, so I didn't actually know how much the item was, but having a look on Amazon, for example, it shows that the price for the 50-watt version is roughly around the 18 to 20 pound marker, depending on what kind of seller that you find on Amazon. But I did notice for £2 extra, you can actually buy the 100-watt version, so it's probably worth it if you have a big enough fish tank or something that you needed a bit more powerful, or maybe just that you wanted that extra bit of power on your heater. It's definitely worth paying the extra few quid, really, and getting the 100-watt as opposed to 50, because you're getting double the power for less than double the money, so it's a win-win there. In terms of the product itself, it's pretty big. It's quite clunky, so it's a big box, this one, as opposed to the long kind of poles that you have on other heaters. Probably the biggest benefit to it is that it's made of plastic, and so it's got the heating elements inside it, as opposed to the sort of traditional glass type heaters. So that's one less thing to go wrong, really, because with the glass ones, they do tend to be very fragile and can break quite easily. The other perk with that, obviously, is that it's smaller and more compact as opposed to a longer sort of item. So when the water does eventually evaporate in your aquarium and you haven't caught up on your water changes, for example, then there's less chance of it sort of hitting that element. Kept aquariums for a long time, maybe that's something that you experience. I definitely get it a lot. As you can see, this aquarium right here needs an additional top up, and if I would have left the heater and it was really high up, this one I've got it quite low down, which is really good, but if I had the heater more vertical or a bit more of an angle but higher up towards the middle or the top of the aquarium, then I'm falling victim to evaporation that's hitting that point. So for me, especially my aquariums being in my shed here, it's a bit of a benefit, really, because it means that I can sort of keep control of my water changes a bit more without the worry that it's going to hit that sort of that marker. The other thing I like is that it has a digital display, so that's quite cool to see in what the actual temperature is. Again, with your conventional aquarium heaters, you tend to have a little dial at the top, and you kind of have to go on a little strip or a sticker or something that you have stuck to the side of the glass, or maybe that you've got a digital thermometer that you have plugged in. So that is a good benefit. However, having a little LED displayed inside your fish tank is not aesthetically pleasing, so there is a downside to it. I know heaters aren't exactly the best looking things anyway, but if you've got them hidden behind stuff, maybe that's a good thing. But if you're trying to use it to check the temperature on it. Obviously you can't have the heater hidden behind, say, plants or wood or something like that, so there is a bit of a disadvantage there. It'd be probably cooler if the digital dial was actually on the bit where you set the temperature as opposed to having it on the actual unit itself. The only other thing that I did notice one time that this happened to me is that the temperature is set using the dial on the side of the wire and the cable outside of the tank, and I set the temperature to what it should be, and I did notice at one point that the temperature went higher than what the temperature I'd actually set. Now obviously you do have to take in factors of being how warm the room is and how hot it is, but being the fact that this is quite cold at the moment this time of year, we are in January, February time here, so the temperature should be pretty much under. I mean, if I'm honest, in my shed, it's never going to reach the desired temperature, especially at night time. So you would expect it to be slightly lower, not slightly higher. It was only by 1 or 2 degrees, but again, that could have been that it was just settling in and getting used to the temperatures under the water. It's a new product. I haven't had it happen anymore since it's been in for the last few weeks, so I can only say that that was a one-time thing that I'd noticed. Whether it's a long-term thing, I don't know. I'd have to wait and see. In terms of packaging, always great with these products. I really do like the boxing that they have. It's quite a sturdy box, and it comes really tightly packed with everything that you need. Instructions are pretty clear. It wasn't too difficult to try and figure out how to work the temperature. You've only got one button on the heater, so it's there's only one thing that you can press, so it's not all the fiddling about that you sometimes have to do with heaters, you know, with the more technical ones, for example, as opposed to the ones that got the little dial on the top. I think, if I'm honest, the size of the heater and how big it is in such a nano tank, which I've got it in, is probably a bit too overwhelming for the tank size, so it doesn't look great. It just looks like a big bulky black box that's sort of sitting at the back of the fish tank. So I think it would look really good in a bigger tank that you could maybe hide it right at the far back in a dark spot and have all of your plants and everything in front of it. But in terms of its function and everything else, it does what it needs to do. For me, with a product review, I always like to take the customer service element, if there is any, into consideration. At this moment in time, I never really had any problems with the device other than the temperature change, but it wasn't something I felt like I needed to contact the customer service support team. But I have been in contact with Hygger because they sent me the product to try out. So I mean, customer service wise, it's always been great when somebody's sending you something free, so I can't complain. Whether that is the same when you buy it on its own, who knows? But again, I'm just going on the experiences that I've had for this video. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Have you used these heaters before by Hygger or Hygger? Never remember. But if you've used them, let me know. If you haven't, I'd love to know your experiences. If you want to check out more of my video product reviews, check out this playlist right here. It's got quite a few different reviews of aquarium equipment that I've reviewed in the past. And until next time, stay safe.